I'll plug it in right here. That's right. And then...
You have to lay on the floor, right?
Yeah.
Get your coffee.
I'm accustomed to that. That's the only way I know that. Self-video.
Why aren't we thinking about making this an internet?
Okay, do you think I can start?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Welcome.
Sorry about that.
Hi. Hello, everybody. Sorry for a few little mishaps that we had.
Sorry, it's my fault.
No, it's no one's fault. It happened. It just happened. So the alarm may go off again. I don't really know how this works once we set it off, but if it does, I'm going to say intuitively that it really is just the alarm and there's no reason to evacuate, okay? That's my intuitive response.
You weren't even paying attention.
I wasn't even paying attention. Good. But so I think we should be good to go. So welcome to a new America, everybody. Welcome to America. We're calling this version of America. I just heard this today right before I came here. This is America 2.0. Okay, so welcome. This is America 2.0. We did the 1.0. We did the plain old America. Now this is 2.0. Brand new version. Let's see what happens. I realized that if I continued to have November's meeting after having the big seminar on Saturday, that I didn't really know if people would be interested in coming on Saturday, spending 6 hours with me, and then joining again tonight. And then I thought about it. I said, you know what? It's going to be the day after the election. Let me just go, because either way the election goes, people are going to want to hear some fresh insights into America 2.0, whatever way it went. This is a brand new world. What I guess I'm not surprised by is how many people reached out and contacted me starting at 6 o'clock this morning.
Oh my God.
At one point I'm laying in bed, now it's 7:12 in the morning, and I'm still texting, and I still have not turned my phone on.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, wow, it looks like I have my hands full today. And I guess the energy of my hands being full today is what really caused the alarm. It definitely wasn't you leaving the door open. The energy of me knowing that there's always something else to do at the moment. And it's really interesting. One thing that was kind of funny, like a lot of people were asking me if I knew the outcome of the election, and something that's very, very near and dear to my heart is the Mets. And it took me 7 years of being psychic before I could ever predict the outcome of a Mets game, especially against the Yankees. But I find that I finally got to the point that I'm pretty good at it, actually. When they have their 4-game series, I pretty much know which way it's going to go. I might not know the scores, but I can tell you. And to me, that's really big because it affects me personally, because everyone in my family is huge Mets fans. You know, I always say, don't let your happiness be connected to something externally. But they believe that's true except for sports. Sports is like the exemption. So I'm attached to the outcome of a Mets game because of my family. No personal connection, but because of my family. So predicting the outcome should be a little more difficult for me than predicting some of the other stuff that I predict. So I actually did get a good feel for how this election was going to go. But I couldn't tell if it was intellectual or intuition, because I did feel that I had an attachment to what outcome choice I would like to see. So I really just wanted to not even think about it that much. But what was really interesting was last night I went into this diatribe about the stupidity of the Electoral College. And I went on and on and on and on and on, and then I was like, oh, okay, I got that out of my system. And I'm like, I don't know why I did that. I don't usually ramble that much about how archaic and unnecessary the Electoral College is. And then I wake up today and I'm finding, oh, wow, it kind of is a little relevant.
Yeah, a little bit.
So I think my psychic hit came through. I could focus on what I could focus on, but I wasn't going to give a out-and-out prediction of what the outcome was. I pretty much could have predicted that there was going to be something a little screwy about the outcome as it was. All right, so when I have conversations with all of you tonight about the election and America 2.0, I'm going to not give that much indication of preference. I'm going to do my best not to. Because if we were meeting tonight and Hillary had been elected yesterday, we'd be having the exact same conversation. So it's a matter of our response, our reaction, our power, how we respond. And that's what matters. So for us today, we're always looking at ways that we can understand the meaning of life better, understand our purpose, understand the choice to become happier and happier, understand what freedom really means. Our goal here together is to connect to universal wisdom. It's not to connect to the facts of how things play out. The facts are only the canvas for the souls to paint their discoveries on. So we can switch up one outcome for another. We can go back 8 years and look at how people felt 8 years ago in comparison to how people feel today. There's always going to be those who feel depleted, those who feel angry, those who feel fear, frustration, and the inevitable doom. And then there's always going to be those that are elated and feel like they won and that this is their time. So no matter what's going on with the election, we always have that outcome of two different parties feeling a particular way. And when you feel passionate about one person being elected over the other, whatever it is that makes you select that one candidate, that's a measure of your value. It's a measure of what you find to be important or significant, whatever it is. It could be Social Security benefits. It could be, who the next Supreme Court justice will be. It could be, what are we doing with Medicare? It could be, what are we doing about unemployment? What are we doing about immigration? What are we doing about this or that? But what the issues are for you personally, they're going to be connected to what your version of your values are, what it is that you value. One of the fascinating things about a presidential election is that no matter where someone is within the level of awareness in their personal life and the choices that they make in their individual relationships, a lot of that kind of gets scrapped when it's a global arena, because people don't feel as though their judgment or their negativity or their expressions towards others who have different ideas than them, they don't feel like it has the same impact as if we're acting like that only within our personal environment of our day-to-day experiences. As soon as you take it one step out and you're talking about the global picture, there feels to be this big buffer that whatever agreements I make about my kindness factor or my judgmentalness or how I interact with other people or how I view my happiness being an equation of what's happening outside of me, all that stuff that we can keep increasing our ability to do for ourselves personally, we scrap it when it comes to something national because it feels so separate. It does feel separate. At the end of the day, though, it is not separate because whatever you choose to do and to be for yourself within your immediate community, your family, your friends, your job, who you're encountering in the grocery store, that is a microcosmic version of who you are in the global arena. You can't be someone here and be someone different here. It doesn't work that way. They don't peacefully coexist. You can't be two versions of yourself. You can only be one version of yourself. So one of the things that I think is really important to talk about today is your own definition of yourself. Let's take politics out of it. Who are you? What is important to you? Who do you want to be? What's your place in the world? What's the place in your immediate community and your extended community? What's your place inside your home? What's your place inside of all of the people that you encounter in a given day? You have to decide for yourself who that person is. Because if you recognize and know at this point in your life that happiness is your choice, happiness is something that's coming from the internal you and the eternal you, not coming from the external you. If you recognize that, then whether something is happening intimately connected to you in your day-to-day experiences, or something is happening a few degrees of separation away from you, which is on the global canvas, it's still you that's meeting it and greeting it every day. It's still you. And that means that if you're unhappy with the outcome of the election, you still have the same power today that you had yesterday. You are no less powerful, even if you don't want Trump to be your president. You are as powerful today as you were yesterday. And that's something that's most critical to not lose sight of. It's very important to understand that there are ebbs and flows that are going to happen externally, and those are designed to help us to have awakenings. It's designed to help us know things that we've forgotten individually and collectively. Every knock on the door that we get, whether it's right on our door or it is an outcome of an election, everything that happens is designed to be a conversation with the universe. That's what it's designed to be. So for a few minutes, I'm going to talk to the perspective that you did not want Trump to be elected. Let's talk to that perspective. Again, like I said, if I were here yesterday, and I mean, we had a different outcome yesterday and I was here today, and Hillary was our president-elect, then I would be talking about you wanted Trump and not Hillary. So today we're going to talk about, we're living in a Trump nation. Let's talk about that outcome. All right? Let's talk about that outcome. If you were there on Saturday, then just think of this little version as just reinforcement for what we talked about on Saturday. But there was an insight that I got into how energy works many years ago. And luckily, on Saturday, I got filled in with some of the details, so I think I can actually use names now. Otherwise, I was just saying him and her and him and her and that and this. Today, I think I might be able to use names. But during the couple of years that I was really learning how to develop my psychic ability and remove my masks and layers, one of the things that I would do was I would use the newspaper as my source. One thing is if I would hear the newspaper hit the driveway in the morning and I was asleep, if it woke me up, I would get the headline. And I would, later when I got out of bed, I would tell Stryker what the headline was that I got, and sure enough, I was pretty much always right. And then there were other ways that I used the newspaper. I would scan the paper, I would almost open it in my peripheral. And I would only go to something if I was getting a psychic hit about it, so that I could keep practicing and growing things that I would have the ability to validate later, because the answer's right there, right? So I would practice getting psychic hits from the paper. There were two incidents that I remember most vividly, other than just the headline. And one of them was, I don't remember the year, but you can certainly look it up. We needed a new pope. You know, we. Like I personally needed a new pope. Yeah. Really affects my day-to-day life, right? We needed a new one. The old one was gone. Dead? Is that what happened? He had vacated his position. And he moved out of the palace. The Vatican. He moved out. So, one day, Stryker opens up the newspaper, and 2-page spread, big full 2 pages. There are pictures of men, lots of men, with columns underneath. And underneath the photograph was their name, where they were from, and then a brief bio of the men. I can't remember how many there were. And then there was actually, when you turned the page, there were actually a few more. I'm guessing there were probably, I don't know, 20 pictures of men.